tired of paying rent, man. Let's go.
To get this real estate, now it would mean a lot. There's so much I can do with that same little spot. Whatever is the cost, I would not hesitate. Now wouldn't it be great to get piece of that real
Listen
estate?
here.
Miss, I heard you selling, I want buy piece of your land. I ain't got much money, I's a hard working man. You got the property, and I like just what I see. So could you ease up on that price just for me? She showed me one little piece, it had a couple sprouts, but that ain't nothing much that I had to worry about. I'll just clean it up, I'll pick up every twig, I'll take out my shovel and man, I'll start to dig just to that would be
you know.
this which I can do with that little
no.
Whatever is the cost, I would not hesitate. Now wouldn't it be great to get piece of that real estate?
That's fun. Oh, look here. Miss, I work hard and hard working man. Watch your way through my pickaxe and broomstick rhythm. Let's go.
All over the world, man fighting over space. They want their own land, they want their own place. You know how good it feels to have a piece of land, to have a nice spread. Most men would understand. See, I ain't got no cash, but can we make a trade? I can break it off until the bill is paid. See, there is plenty bush to cut and couple rock to move. I just get that piece of land. There's nothing I won't do to get this real estate. Girl, it would mean a lot. There's something I can do with that same little
So much.
Whatever is the cost, I would not hesitate.
Work it.
Now wouldn't it be great to get piece of that real estate?
Oh no. Man, the sick real estate agents, line up. We coming by it. We want it. We need it. With my Spit Point boys, them going, man. Spit Point boys, give it to me. Let's go. Yes. Ah, yeah, man. Check us out.
Now in Nassau, land price is high. How can I afford that? I barely getting by. I became she surveyor. I laid down the stake. She made me she contractor. I dig up she place. She showed me her land. She showed me she deeds. She tell me what she wanted, gave she what she need. Oh yes, I got straight. Didn't spend a cent. It's good when you got your own land, cause I tired paying rent. Oh, yes man. See it with me alone. There's so much I can do with that same little
brother you got there. That little piece, man, not the big one. No, no, sir, I don't need them holding. Give me the little piece. Listen here, come on, watch this. Yes.
to get this real estate. Now it will be.
Oh no,
there's so much I can
boy, look here.
oh, there's nothing.
Oh, what's the cost, mom? I ain't hesitate. That's fine.
To get this real estate, now it will mean a lot. There's so much I can do.
So much I can do. I can put up a building. I can sell my wares, man. I can sell all kinds of chains on that, man. Listen here, man. Woo. That's true, boy. Look here. The Bahamas got lovely properties, man, all over the place. You ain't gotta rent no more. Rent done. No more rent. I got my own things now, boys. What you think them investors come here for? They love our land, boy. They come here for beachfront property. Beachfront. I didn't want something like this. I didn't want something like Little Harbor Island. Something I want to do big. Something like Harbor Island. Something.
Let's go everybody, time for some fun. Going down to Illusion, party countdown. Eat some pineapple and drink up some rum, yeah. Festival people, come sing along, sing it. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Festival time again. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Come on, let's do it again. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Festival time again. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Come on, experience the same. Oh, oh. Miami and sing. Festival time again, let's go everybody. Time for some fun, bring them to us. Party can done, eat some crab and do one. Drink up some rum, yeah. Festival people, come sing along, singing. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Festival time again. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Come on, let's do it again. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Festival time again. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Come on, experience this thing. Oh oh, the real Bahamian thing. Oh oh, let's go everybody. Time for some fun. Going to have a ride. We got a time gone. Lay in the drinks on. Drink up some rum, yeah. Festival people, come sing along, singing. Oh yeah, oh oh. Festival time again. Oh yeah, oh oh. Come on, let's do it again. Oh yeah, oh oh. Festival time again. Oh yeah, oh oh. Come on, experience this thing. Everybody, move your body, grab a partner, young and crazy. Everybody, move your body, grab a partner, young and crazy. Everybody, move your body, grab a partner, young and crazy. Everybody, move your body, grab a partner, I'm young and crazy tonight. Oh oh, the real Bahamian thing. Oh oh, oh oh, the real Bahamian thing. Festival time again. Yeah. Bam 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 bam. Bam 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 bam. Yeah, festival time again. Where we going? What we doing? Where we going? Going down to Lutra. Pineapple festival. Eat me some pineapple. Drink some pineapple rum. Hey, the pineapple is run all down my elbows. From there again on just eat me some crab in the water. Crab festival time again. Suck all the fat of them crab. Y'all know we do. Real Bahamian thing, man. Put on our island. Got it done. Stay on the beach. Yeah, meet some sun, get some sun. Pink sun under my door. The real Bahamian thing. Oh oh, the real Bahamian thing. Oh oh, the real Bahamian thing. Festival time again. Festival time again.
This is a story about a native woman. She could be from Grandstown, Camp Road or Baytown. Aventuring was all that she know for a woman. Aventuring was all that she know. She threw one hand bone in a pot full of water, boiled that down good for she sons and she daughters. That was all she had in the house to eat, yeah, that was all she had in the house. She called Mary and Martha, Peter and John, yeah, Tommy and Freddie, Sherry and Eddie. Coming out of the yard at supper time, my children. Coming out of the yard at supper time. Oh, the little one complained and the small ones did warm. Oh, the big ones keep quiet cause they know that their mama doing the best that she can to feed them. Doing the best that she can. She pick up the broomstick and share desperation. Drop licks on she children to ease the frustration. Send them to sleep in the corner on the floor amongst the roaches. Send them to sleep Where she husband?
She ain't got none.
Where she sweetheart?
He run away.
Where she boyfriend?
He beat she up.
Who them eyes?
She picked him up.
But what she gonna do tomorrow?
Pray tell me what she gonna do.
What she gonna do tomorrow?
Pray tell me what she gonna do.
Where she husband?
She ain't got none.
Where she sweetheart?
He run away.
Where she boyfriend?
He beat she up.
Who them eyes?
She picked him up.
But what she gonna do tomorrow?
Pray tell me what she gonna do.
What she gonna do tomorrow?
Pray tell me what she gonna do.
What she gonna do tomorrow?
Pray tell me what she gonna do.
What she gonna do tomorrow?
Pray tell me what she gonna do.
What she gonna do tomorrow?
I would die for love, but I will never kill for hate. Ain't no use, there ain't no use. No, ain't no use. No. I would climb up the highest mountain, swim to the blue sea, if it's for love. If it's for love, love rescue me. Love is the key to it all. Love is the key to it all. So don't you listen to the evil call. Listen to the call. Love is the way it should be. Love is the way it should be. Come with me, and you see, I would die for love, but I will never kill for hate. Ain't no use, ain't no use, ain't no use. Killing ain't no use. I would climb up the highest mountain, swim to the blue sea, if it's for love. Love rescue me. When you have hate in your heart, it does come like a serious venom on a poison dart. All your in and outer self change. What's the use, children? What's the gain? I would die for love, but I will never kill for hate. Ain't no use, ain't no use, ain't no use. Killing ain't no use. I would climb up the highest mountain, swim the deep blue sea, if it's for love. Love rescue me. When you have love in your heart, when you got love in your heart, then you've got the strength to resist the dark, to resist the evil. Just run your race and keep the faith. Keep the faith, keep the faith. That is what the prophet said. I would die for love, but I will never kill for hate. Ain't no use, ain't no use, ain't no use. Killing ain't no use. I would climb up the highest mountain, swim the deep blue sea, if it's for love. Lord, love rescue me. I would die for love, but I will never ever shed my own brother's blood. Shed my own brother's blood. Oh no. I would climb up the highest mountain, swim the deep blue sea, only for love. Love rescue me. I would die for love, sacrifice for love, darling. I'll buy you diamonds and pearls, take you on a trip around the world. Darling, you're the one for me. You are the only one I see. You are the apple of my tree. Darling, I'll die for love. Darling, sacrifice all that I have one night and in heaven above. Darling, you're the one for me.
I have a dream where the powerful and the powerless will sit at the same table, where the haves will see the have-nots, not as burdens, but as brothers, where class will not divide us, but conviction will unite us. I have a dream that the oligarchs will remember we must all eat, that the brown-faced neo-colonialists will remember who they are and whose they are. I have a dream that fraternities will build beyond internal architecture into a national bond, that the walls of design will give way to the bridges of brotherhood, not a fraternity of symbol, but a brotherhood of substance. I have a dream that we remain focused, that we stay in our conviction and remain fearless, that we double down, fortified, to return this Bahamaland to the foundation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Foundation with Howard Grant right here jamming with you on this beautiful Monday afternoon out here in the city of dreams, the city of sin and debauchery, the city of restoration and growth, the city that is all encompassing in the city of Nassau. Hope you guys are good out there. Hope you had a beautiful weekend. Me, not so much. It was in a horrible weekend. I'm here in the land of the living. I got to give God praise. I am find myself in this kind of a position at this juncture. My wife, I don't know if it was Friday when she came. Was it Friday or Thursday? Was it Friday? Friday, she came to me after the show, my wife. And you heard me say my cousin got in an accident the other day. And you know, he got in an accident. He went to his sister's son, his nephew's wedding in Grand Bahama. He's living here now, so he's a carpenter. He built my whole restaurant for me, potted pleasers, and you know, he's good at what he does. And he built all kind of boxes, all kind of things in my house. He built for me, right? And we had a good relationship. We grew up together in 8 Maroc. And he moved to Nassau, I moved to Nassau. And he went over to Grand Bahama the other day for a funeral. For a wedding. TJ wedding, right? His nephew. And I didn't even know he went. He and I had, you know, life is life. Life's sometimes. And so there existed a sort of a gap. Even though he's here in Nassau, consumed with what I do, you know, and just trying to be able to make some things happen, especially this year. This year has been a year in terms of what's happening and how you can be able to make some things happen. Long story short, he went to Grand Bahama. My mother called me and tell me that his name is Leon. My mother called me and says that Leon was in an accident. And so she said, oh, Leon was in an accident. She started telling me all kind of stuff. So I said, hold on. You're talking too fast. I don't understand what you're saying. Leon was in an accident. What happened? And why would you call me and tell me that Leon was in an accident if you in Grand Bahama and I'm here in Nassau and I don't know about this? So she says, he got in an accident on a Mall Drive. I say, there's no Mall Drive in Nassau. She said, no, in Freeport. I said, what the hell is he doing in Freeport? And so she says, he was over there for Rosie's baby wedding. I said, oh my God. So a couple of things hit me at the same time. Wow, the baby getting so old. He's big man now. He get married. Jesus. Like life really speeding along. And at the same time, why would she call me with this level of this somber approach to have a conversation with me for a little accident? You ain't called me and tell me Leon passed away. What happened? So she said, no, he cracked his, hit his skull. And he was bleeding from the skull. And his brain was bleeding, right? And so I said, okay, I don't want to talk to you. So I didn't call his sisters. Leon has 2 sisters, Pebbles, Rosie, right? So I could call Pebbles or Rosie, but I don't want to call a woman in this time because I don't know what else, you know what I mean? Like emotions are running high. I just need clarity. I need to understand something. And so his brother, Ray, is in Grand Bahama. So I thought I had Ray number. I didn't have Ray number. My daddy sent me Ray number. Got Ray number. Call Ray. Ray answered the phone. I said, Ray, what's up? I don't know, motto. I tell you, they don't call me Howard at home. Right? So he says, I don't know. So I said, what happened? So he says, Leon called me, tell me he was going out. I tell him, okay, now be careful. Right? Leon is actually older than I am. Right? So Leon would be 40, going on 45, or he just turned 45 this year. And I'm 44, right? So he said, Leon called me, Ray's an older brother. He said, Leon called me, tell me he's going out. He just was here for the wedding, and he went out after the wedding. He went out with this person. I don't even know who this person is. He tell me the person's name as though I should know this person. This is what Ray telling me. He said, I don't know, but he said he was conscious at one point. He was talking to the police, and then he just lost consciousness. So I said, is he okay? Well, we don't know, Mata. We're trying to get him airlifted out of, we're trying to send him to Miami. So I say, send him to Miami. All, my spidey sense has gone off. Send him to Miami. Is it that bad? You know what I'm saying? Like that, whoa, right? And so they did all the checks and everything like that. They end up sending him to Nassau. I guess they were content with the fact that he would be okay. Send him to Nassau. Sent him over to Nassau, and I saw a good family friend in the store, and I knew that Leon was in transit somewhere, but I didn't know because I didn't call Ray back. Ray's very abrupt. Gave me the information. The conversation was done, right? And so I called him. I saw a family friend, Nikki, in Mackey Street, right here. So we just get to talking. My wife and I, all of us, we just get to talking. I say, "Oh, he's here. I'm gonna go and see him." So he says, so she says, "Oh, you can't see him because they don't want anybody to see him right now." Whatever. So I said, "What?" Then I said, okay. Is he okay? Yeah, he's doing much better. He's stable and stuff like that. So I said, okay. When any of y'all's levels out, I'll come and see him or whatever. This is what I'm saying in my head. I think he was about to be discharged on Friday. I was praying for him the whole time. I think he was about to be discharged on Friday. And my phone goes off at the end of this show on Friday, where we did a show on Friday. And my wife said, "If you're done." She called me on the phone. I answered the phone. I talking to her. She gonna ask me if I done. What? It's quite obvious, ma'am. It's like I'm done. I answered you. What happened? So she said, "Well, I'm outside." So my mind didn't go on nothing. So she's outside. She must even want to go for lunch, or she wants to see me, They're like handsome men. I don't know what's going on. Praise God. So I said, okay, let me go see her. And I said, what's up? I go outside. I say, hey, what's up? So she says, I come to you with some bad news. Okay, so how bad could the news be? This is a quick assessment. How bad could the news be? My 2 kids, the older ones, are in Freeport. My 2 kids here in Nassau, and there isn't this level of panic in her spirit. So I'm assessing it. So it's like, what happened? She didn't have the posture to say that something, horrible went wrong. She says to me, yeah, I have to give you some bad news. So she said, Leon didn't make it. Oh man, just thinking about this is just it's devastating, man. She said Leon didn't make it. So this is my cousin. He's almost like a brother. We grow up very close together. I call my other cousins, who all of us grew up as a group, and they cry. This is devastating. We don't know what happened. He was about to be discharged, and and because he was about to be discharged, everybody thought he was good, and the day he was about to be discharged, he passed away. So this was a lot, and this is heavy. I tried to call his brother for 2 days. Well, I tried to call his brother one day. The day after, I didn't call him the day. I called him the day after, and he wouldn't answer. And I know he wasn't going to answer. His brother loved him so bad, you wouldn't believe it. His brother loved him so bad. Oh my God. Everybody loves him. And he passed away, guys. My cousin passed away. This thing blew my mind. Not that he couldn't die. He's a healthy guy. Strong, healthy guy. You know? And he's passed away. He's no longer with us. And so I'm just praying for my family. And it's an amazing thing how life happens. He lost his mother maybe a few years ago. And his mother was the jewel of his eye. He loved his mother so bad, Leon. And so that was a devastating time for him. I would go and visit with him and sit with him and talk. And we started to talk about faith. We started to talk about our conviction, our position, our call. We started to talk about more than existence to what life was. And I'm really hoping to myself. I'm really hoping. You know, you hold to this everlasting hope and this cling. And I don't know whether or not it's just spiritual optimism. But I'm hoping because of who I know him to be. And he served in the church. He would have been going to what's the church on Bacardi Road, way down in the back there. I can't remember the church, way down in the back there, right? He served there for a while, and then I think he got convicted to this sort of a concept and idea of being able to live by the Mosaic or the Levitical law, in a sense, by being able to identify the Sabbath and keep it holy. And so he shifted everything. I tell you, we were talking about these things for a long time. And he went to the 7 Days Adventist Church, and where he found himself serving again. This is what he does, man. He is in hot pursuit of the things of God and of righteousness and with the desire to be able to do the right thing. But the flesh still exists. My God, I pray for him so much. I thought God had him. Well, he got him. I thought he was going to be able to come back home to us. But he's gone home to glory. I pray for Henry, his oldest brother, Marvin, Rosie, Ray, Pebbles. These are his brothers and sisters who are still here with us. I pray for all of y'all. I pray for all my family members who were very close with him. I know Taria and Heather and Jeremy and all of them. All of us in one yard, you know. I tell you, in 8 Mile Rock, we in one yard, one big yard. So all of us, even across the street, Rudolph, them, all of y'all, I continue to be able to pray for y'all. And I know this ain't going to be easy for us. But that's two. And my family. My Aunt Malvise passed away. I think I got a picture in here with my Aunt Malvise. I think I took one. My Aunt Malvise passed away. And now my cousin Leon, they call him Biscuit from he was young. Excellent basketball player. Excellent. Oh, man. He always used to play with the big boys. We were like 14, 15, and he was point guard. And while we watching on the side, you know what I'm saying? Like he point guard, and he in the game. He's in the game playing ball. And, you know, he's passed away. May the souls of the departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace and rise in glory. Take this quick break, guys. Going to be right back after this.
I would die for love, but I will never kill for hate. Ain't no use, there ain't no use. No, ain't no use. No. I would climb up the highest mountain, swim to the blue sea, if it's for love. Oh, if it's for love. Love rescue me. Love is the key to it all. Oh, love is the key to it all. So don't you listen to the evil don't call. You listen to the call. Love is the way it should be. Love is the way it should come be. With me. And you see, I would die for love, but I will never kill for hate. Ain't no use, ain't no use, ain't no use. Killing ain't no use. I would climb up the highest mountain, swim to the blue sea, if it's for love. Love rescue me. When you have hate in your heart, it does come like a serious venom on a poison dart. All your in and outer self change. What's the use, children? What's the gain? I would die for love, but I will never kill for hate. Ain't no use, ain't no use, ain't no use. Killing ain't no use. I would climb up the highest mountain, swim the deep blue sea, if it's for love. Love rescue me. When you have love in your heart, when you got love in your heart, then you've got the strength to resist the dark, to resist the evil. Just run your race and keep the faith. Keep the faith, keep the faith. That is what the prophet said. I would die for love, but I will never kill for hate. Ain't no use, ain't no use, ain't no use. Killing ain't no use. I would climb up the highest mountain, swim the deep blue sea, if it's for love. Lord, love rescue me. I would die for love, but I will never ever shed my own brother's blood. Shed my own brother's blood. Oh no. I would climb up the highest mountain, swim the deep blue sea, only for love. Love rescue me. I would die for love, sacrifice for love, darling. I'll buy you diamonds and pearls, take you on a trip around the world. Darling, you're the one for me. You are the only one I see. Oh, you are the apple of my tree. Darling, I'll die for love. Darling, sacrifice all that I have one night and in heaven above. Darling, you're the one for me. I will supply you every
better than my own greatest leader of all time, the ultimate leader of life, when he said these words: if the blind lead, wow, if the blind lead the blind, he says, they both fall into the ditch, which means the leader determines the destination of the followers. That's how powerful leadership is. Let me tell you something about your life. You are exactly where someone led you. If you don't like where you are right now in your life, you're going to have to reconsider changing leadership. See, your problem is you want to shout and sing hallelujah, and then die broken sick. This conference is about to set you free from that stuff. Yes, sir. Makes me so sad to see people, having religious, feel all this emotional stuff. Because they are sheep. They just follow anybody. People come in town with a white suit, white Bible, white shoes, they run to that person. Just sheep. If the blind lead. You know what Jesus is just telling us? He's telling us it's possible for a person to be in charge with a title, with a position, with power, with influence, and still be blind. Don't ever be impressed with power. Don't be impressed with position. Ask the question, where we going? What's our destination? Because I might not want to go with you. Hello, somebody. See, that's how powerful leadership is. Leadership will lead you to their destiny. Some of you know the story about Jim Jones in Guyana. Sheep. I mean, sensible people with a brain with 500 billion cells followed a man in a bush and drank poison. Because they never asked the question, where are we going? What is your vision? Write this down. Vision is more important than leadership. Please get the book on vision on the table, please. Very important. People think that leadership is important, but vision is more important than leadership, because vision is what creates the leader. What makes you a leader is the fact that you see a future that's better than the present. That's right. So leadership
being able to see a future that's better than the present is crucial. And I don't know whether or not any of us have come, or all of us. I know that there is always a remnant that exists. But I don't know whether or not the collective of us have found ourselves in the position where we do away with the norms. We do away with the traditional concept and idea of what our expectations are. We do away with this sort of a course that we travel that says, well, you know, I wasn't the first to do it. That they did it before me, and I got to carry this on. For the one thing that matters in this country, not your relationship individually, which matters to you, all right? Not your education, which matters to you. Not your position in your company, not your acquisition, not your car, not your land. These things matter to you individually. But the collective growth, that sort of macro growth, the growth of all of us, is crucial that we have a very clear understanding and do away with the traditional concept of what we believe or what we were taught to move with as it relates to vision. To move with as we relates to leadership. You know, I can get into a little conversation with you today about being able to look at golden hours. We just did a wonderful article last night. We did a couple articles. We talked about sovereignty, the zone of sovereignty. We talked about a little taste of men's health. Wanted to be able to give a significant position as it relates to being able to move towards Thanksgiving with thanks. We did a lot of stuff. The entire weekend, I was busy and contemplating like crazy the death of my cousin. The entire weekend. I felt numb Friday night. I didn't want to talk. I didn't want my wife. She said, let's leave him alone for a little while. I felt numb. Because you try to wrap your head around these sort of things. Well, how did this happen? Is this his time? Obviously it is his time. How did these things happen? And in the midst of that, something came out. I wrote it in the Founders Corner. You can be able to see that, right? But I'm talking to you about being able to identify what's happening in the constituency of Golden Isles. We wrote a piece on Golden Isles in the aftermath of the death of Vaughn Miller, in the wake of this by-election, and being able to look at some stuff. Before I go on, I want to be able to show you my aunt, Malvise, my grandmother's sister. She passed away. This is her right here. Aunt Malvise, she passed away. She's 96 years old. Henley she's married into Henley, but this is Malvise, my aunt Malvise. She died at the Ram Memorial Hospital October 12th, 2025. Right there in Grand Bahama. They'll be having a funeral. I think Mommy said to me this weekend, she asked me, you come into the funeral? I said, I don't know. But Aunt Malvise has passed away, right? So continue to be 96 years old. I just knew this. I didn't know this. That my grandmother's the same age. I said, but Mommy, Grammy, and I did not know this. For the longest time, I didn't even know this one with my auntie, I didn't know this was my grandmother's sister. I used to call her Miss Malvise for years. And she used to give me the chicken and fries. I always try to figure out why I get 2 chicken and all the boys get 1. Now I know. Thank you, Aunt Malvise. You helped to be able to put the girth upon my body. Praise God. So Aunt Malvise is gone and she's no longer with us. Guys, if you had someone that passed away, I continue to be able to pray for you and pray that you get an opportunity to be able to mourn them properly and put them down with style and class. All right? Let's be able to do that. So yeah, let's talk about these things now, right? Let's talk about this. I want to talk about, and I don't want to make this a habit. I want to do this. I never had an opportunity to do this before. I'm not seeking to do this from an asinine standpoint. I'm not seeking to do this from an arrogant position. I've always had sentiments, but I've always been cautious in the way that I walk on the minefield that was Guardian Radio when I was in the space. Can I say this? Can we talk? I want to talk. So I just want to be honest with you. I don't want you to believe that I am an idiot where, and I don't want to cuss, right? They tell me how it, please. You said a couple too much is, I say, okay, no problem. I'll cut it up. But now the truth, let's get to this. I don't want you to believe that I am some ingrate that sits within the confines of a particular space and can't wait to be able to, in the event that something happens, detach from this and find myself in the position that I now want to denigrate the whole organization. That's not who I am. I don't have that kind of a vibe about me. That if I wanted to say something, which I did, I would say it when I was there, which I did. But my responsibility and knowing the protocol of my faith, I don't come to the public and say these things at the forefront. I just don't do that. Okay? That's the one thing that when I was in F&M, I never did. You never go out there and vomit in the public your issues. I don't know why they do this, but they do this nonetheless. There's a protocol established and a path that you travel within the confines of any organization that you're in. And so you find those confidants, those persons that you can be able to speak to and speak with in pursuit of a resolve in this space. And so I did that. And there was never a resolve. Now, there's a principle that my wife and I were speaking this weekend. And I said to her that when it comes to issues, I am the type of person, I know that I can be an idiot sometimes. I don't want you to ever mistake this. I am extremely impassioned. I believe what I believe. I could burst and blow up into flames the way that I carry this thing that I believe. If I believe it, ooh. If I believe I could fly, you would see me out here like Rocket Man. And I'm not talking about Elton John Rocket Man. You need to calm down. It's too much. Calm down. Right? That's a whole different... Now, I've always been this person that me and my wife row, stink row, big row. And then at the end of the night, which is one of my favorite times, right? At the end of the night, when the whole house is quiet and everybody is asleep and everything is sound and sealed up, and the dishes washed, the clean, the house, this, whatever, and now it's time to go to sleep. And so I have a routine, right? So I put my phones on the charge, right, on the side of my bed. I got my little table set up, right? And then I dust my bed out, fix it, sweep. I've done this for years. This is how I cannot sleep without this, right? It might be weird for you. You just sleep on side of your clothes, what you're supposed to fold up. You sleep right on them, right? You wake up smelling like, you put on these clothes. Why are your clothes fresh and still smell like sweat? What's going on? You then sweat on them all night. I don't do things like you. You then slide your clothes on one side of the bed and sleep on another. I don't do things like that. I want to be, I won't be decent. I won't be decent, right? So I set up my bed in a particular manner, and then I set up a little prayer section for me every time I go to bed. I put my blanket on the floor. I got a prayer blanket, right? Like a little thing that I use when I kneel down, right? All right, and I've got two pillows. I don't sleep on these pillows. It's just for me to kneel down on the blanket on the side of my bed. I promise you might think this is a weird thing, but this is what I do. And every night I give like the alleviation of knowing that the burden of this day is over, and the gratitude to being able to be in this space. I promise you, this is what I do. I look forward to this. Lord, I make it. And I always think about my friends who would have passed away over the years. And I think about them. I had one friend who died, classmate, in 8 Mile Rock, maybe 10, 11 o'clock, 10:30 one morning. Very quiet morning in 8 Mile Rock. And all of a sudden, in the Haitian village, which is just the next corner away from us, we hear crying, screaming, hollering, wailing. We knew that something happened. And this girl's boyfriend slit her throat from ear to ear. Before lunchtime. While she was taking her food to thaw out for the day. You don't even understand. To me, that is bananas. To me, that is absolutely bananas. That she took out chicken or meat or whatever to thaw out in preparation to cook a meal, and she ain't gonna make it to lunchtime. And she didn't know none of this, but she gone. And so when I kneel down in the evening, I always have this level of gratitude this truly deep gratitude for all that God has given me and the space that I'm in. Now, I don't know what you believe. Don't fight me for my belief. Don't fight me for my faith. All this is make me who I is. Amen? Not who I am. Who I is. Because I is. Praise Jesus. And so in the midst of that, every time I would kneel down, me and my wife didn't go on at it today. Be rowing, you know. But now I got to go before Jesus Christ. I can't carry this with me. You hear me? I can't carry the burden of knowing that I just tell somebody but they're behind or this, that, and the next thing. And now again before God, a sovereign God, the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, to ask him for grace, for mercy, for protection, for a hedge of protection, to release angels, to watch over me, to watch over my children, I cannot do that, knowing I didn't tell you everything what I needed to tell you and cuss you out. So I go in somewhere with this. I get in somewhere. Don't fight me. Go with me. Let's go. Don't fight me. Let's do it. And so I found myself in this kind of a position where over the years, with maturity, with understanding, with recognizing that this breath don't belong to me, that this life and these opportunities that I get are afforded to me through grace, that I have no space to be able to say yea or nay or what God should do or should not do. And I don't have this kind of a posture where I believe that God has to do something. I'm just grateful that he's doing what he's done for me. With all that said, I would say to my wife, baby, I apologize to you for cussing you stink today. I love you. Come here, give me a kiss. I'm not ready for a kiss yet. Okay, baby, when you're ready for the kiss, it'll be here, okay? Let me rub your back for you. Get away from me, please. Don't touch me. You think you could just say anything to anybody? No. It wasn't anything. It was a strategic thing. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. I'm praying. She even stopped rowing back when I started to apologize, because she know I can apologize to her. Yeah, I can't pray with this kind of a issue on me. I can't. If I have an issue with you, I try to resolve that now. And if we don't get to the position of resolution, then I would have gone through all the steps necessary to ensure that we could find some level of resolution. And if that doesn't happen, then praise God. God knows I've made my attempts to do what I was supposed to do. With that being said, I would have gone through every avenue I knew possible while I was at Guardian to try to resolve some of the things that I saw that took us off the track of integrity when I was there at the space. Only from a talk show standpoint, not necessarily from the print media standpoint. Okay? And as you become entrenched in a space, you recognize that the culture that existed in this particular space is not necessarily one of integrity. When you become a part of it, it is one of survival. And you listen to people, right? Watch me. I just want to be decent. I ain't trying to be this. I'm just trying to be decent. When you listen to people, I just want to be honest with you. You listen to people, you listen to how much years this one served, how much years that one served, how much years this here, how long this was here, who brother kept here, and all this. That management never was looking for productivity in this space. They were looking for loyalty. I ain't slow, you know. I sharp. I don't never really tell you. I just keep it to myself sometime. But I then, a lot of people think I don't see something in my mind. And I play dead stupid like I never see nothing. So just walking around the place, and I realized and I asked myself, how could this incompetent, incapable person work here for so long? These people don't know how to do their damn job. I mean, on almost every single division within the confinement, you can find one of these people. I guess it's all jobs, but because this was such an intimate space, these people stuck out like a sore thumb. And no one said anything. That's just how they operated. No one said anything. So when I started to say something, like I told you the other day, the problem never existed externally. It became a problem. You became the problem. How dare you target this thing? I was trying to be able to live a mundane life to get to 5 o'clock and hopefully go home with little to no issues today. Now you have to remind me the education that I pursued, that all that I would have done to be able to find myself contributing in the country has placed me in the position where I have to be able to question my integrity, my conviction, my professionalism, and whether or not I want to keep my job. And keeping my job always wins. So now I have to play as though none of this exists so I could keep my sanity. But Howard, you seek to unearth this foolishness and remind me that both my job and my sanity is on the line. You need to go. That's just how the thing plays out. In my last days, last few months, I told you I had a dream. I had all these things like that. And I think that the Father, the Holy Spirit, was just saying to me, it's time for you to roll out, Bala. Nonetheless. And I said, okay, no problem. Praise God. Because I saw where the integrity, as the election campaign intensified, watch me, everyone had the same sentiments at the beginning of the 2021 election year, after the election of 2021 September. Everyone had the same sentiments when we saw the Prime Minister traveling and so forth and so on, and being able to recognize that there was so much left undone by the minister administration to be able to fix, but yet the Prime Minister's taking these kind of trips elsewhere. Everyone shared those sentiments that he may be traveling a little too much and there's some things to be done home. But then that thing leveled out as time progressed. Then we got to a by-election. We got to all these particular things. The by-election of West Grand Bahama. And recognizing that the by-election of West Grand Bahama placed us in this kind of a position, we looked at this. And we made a determination. And so as we did that, I think so many persons gave a pause to the Prime Minister to at least collect his thoughts, to execute on a path that he envisioned for the country. His organization, but, you know, the overarching objective here is the country. But it seems as though I could be absolutely wrong. And in many cases, I'm hoping that I am. But based upon what the public is ingesting, I don't know whether or not I am. It seems as though after the ratification of, not after the ratification, with the talks of the possibility that Shenandoah may not necessarily have a seat, or which seat is Shenandoah going to go to, or that there's an internal divide in the organization and the Free National Movement that seeks to be able to eliminate Shenandoah Cartwright as a deputy leader, and there are factions internally. This is party politics. And then with the introduction of the first 17 that have been ratified, and inclusive of that 17 is Marvin Deems, and being able to identify those things, you look at this, and then you look at these stories, and then you recognize the affiliation that this one is auntie and nephew and brother, and there is a family connection there. And listen, I don't have a problem with ensuring that I support those that I love. I don't have a problem with that. And I don't think that this is where this conversation is going. And if it is in your mind, let's put it back on track. There is a level of integrity that is required in a profession that you commit yourself to with information that you provide to the public. For instance, if you were a cook, a chef, a cafeteria person, and you were cooking for all of us at this organization, whatever this organization were, but today your brother came in, or sister came in, or your mother came in, and you say to your mother, don't eat that food. Don't eat that food, eh? Do not eat that. Don't eat the food here. You hear me? Now she just joined. She coming in the cafeteria with us. We done been working here 15 years. We've been eating this damn thing every day. And all of a sudden, today your mother come. You say to her, and it gets around because we watching this. Don't eat that food right there. There's a level of integrity associated with this. There's an expectation that you recognize that the position that you hold, and for the fact that you're feeding 1,500 people, 1,000 people, however many people, but today you decide to be able to abstain from feeding one person because of what you know, the possible contaminants or preparation or however you know, in the meal that you wouldn't suggest that your mother eat that. Mommy, I wouldn't feed that to my damn dog. Mom, you've been working here for 10 years? You've been working here for 10 days? How you could do that today? There is a level of integrity that is required in an occupation when you're feeding a body of people. Individually small, within your boutique businesses and whatnot, if you decide to be able to take care of your family member and ensure that you could lend support to him or her in whatever capacity in a boutique space that you don't necessarily render assistance, information, products or services to a wider public, then do your thing, man. Nobody worrying but you. You do your thing. You do your thing. But when you're in this kind of position, there should be integrity. There should be journalistic integrity, transparency, honesty, and balance. There should not be journalistic nepotism associated with what we're seeing come out of Guardian. Because all of us we've stepped over the threshold from observation to perception, to identified perception. We ain't just looking at it no more. We identify what you perceive, or we perceive what we identify. Let's say it like that. We perceive. I can see that. And I know what that means. I perceive it already. I know what she's talking about. And I could see that she continues to do this particular thing. I'm talking about Candia. Will golden owls prove history making? In The Guardian. You know how much damn words I say to you just now, just for you to understand that this is not my intent. This is not who she always was. This is not what I've seen come out of there. But I have to be able to say this because I feel like it's too much. Like it's overbearing and it's overwhelming at this particular point. And it's nauseous. It's making me nauseous. I want to hurl all over this place because of what we see relentlessly coming out of the newspaper. And more specifically when she is at the helm. And one, you see, what's good for Pete is good for Paul. On one hand, we watch the nation and those who are observers who have a very clear understanding of how things are in this country. We watch the contorting, the shape-shifting of words to be able to fit the narrative that you seek to project socially. We watch a young whippersnapper politician in the person of Darren Pickstock, who has never had the privilege of being able to be identified and potentially being able to give those services, that passion, that determination, that conviction that he carries, that zeal that he has, to a wider audience. The only time that we've seen him in his particular capacity was given the fact that the Prime Minister, Brave Davis, chose him to be a senator. This is a selected position. You serve at the pleasure of the Prime Minister. This is selective. This is not elected. He's not an elected official. He's been identified among his brethren to be the front runner, the flag bearer of his organization. They chose him because they believe that what he carries, this zeal, this passion, this enthusiasm, can be able to do those people well, especially, oh God, I know y'all don't like me, but it's okay, because all us can be dead anyhow. So let's just go through this thing. Praise Jesus. After all of this, this man has been identified by his organization to be the flag bearer among many, many men. Many, 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 many men. They wish political death upon him. I just want to be decent as I say this. I want to be decent as I say this. He was given an opportunity, and he had not been given the experience, incrementally or otherwise. So essentially, he's been thrust into this position, and he now needs to become the politician that they envision him to be, and the politician and the representative the constituency requires him to be. He got to put on these hats quickly. He ain't got time for it. And in the midst of that, they place him in there. And he stand up on the stage, and with zeal, with determination, with passion, with this sort of an idea, with this idea of the little boy Darren Pickstock, when he was a little boy, as he grew with maturity, as he matriculated through school, through high school, through primary school, through college, through his experiences, his job, his marriage, and other spaces, his relationships. As he matriculated, he carried this vision, this idea, this hope that he could eventually become something in this life. And I don't know whether or not that was something was directed towards the idea that he could be a politician. But he was given an opportunity. And he was chosen by his party. And now he needs you to see that all his dreams, what existed yesteryear, is bringing to the forefront. Yeah, he may have overstepped in terms of being able to speak in sort of a language that could lead you to believe, if we were not smart, lead you to believe that is he talking about his own people? Man, he can't say that. Yeah. And so we capture those words and we contort those words, and then we deliver it to the people to say that this man, even he himself, condemns his organization. So we read that in your newspaper, we ingest that information, and with jaundiced eyes, we look at it like, what the hell? Why would she do that? Leave it alone. Your next edition, Brian Brown comes out. Brian Brown stand up on the people's stage in a rally in the alley. Guardian news people go on there and take all the pictures in the world. Now, I know the professionals that work in this space. They take all the pictures. But there is a select few persons that make choices of which pictures we use. Every picture, the camera, right up on the people's face. But Jesus, we can't even see how much people out there. Let us see it, 12 people. Let us see it, 12 people. No, this ain't 12, there's 15. Them 2 children can't vote, stop. Them 3 children can't vote, stop. Stop it. Let us see it, people. And you can make an argument, oh, Howard, thousands of people was out there. What the hell? And Guardian was out there. Why didn't they take the pictures of the thousands of people? I only see 12 people. But you make those selections, you put it in the paper, no one says a damn thing. Because it's your paper. Nobody bothered with you. You stand up on the stage. He's never been a good speaker. Never. He's never been a good politician. Never. He hasn't. He is an absolutely excellent general. Sometimes we need to know just where the hell to stay. And that's what I used to like about Hubert Ingram, you know. Hubert Ingram and Maurice Small would tell you exactly where you should be. And they never pull no damn punches with you. They never say, well, you know, we'll see. They don't waste the time. They say, well, no, I think you should stay right there. You could serve the party better in this particular capacity. But not these new age leaders. You think you need to be all things to all man at all times. Wasting time with people. This man is a general and one of the best. Hello. But he can't general himself. Okay. He knew that. He knew his strength. He knows that he's a good salesman. He's a good salesman. This man is a good salesman. But sometimes we can't sell ourselves. You need a product. He can't sell himself as a product. He don't know how to do that. Okay. Then you identify this. You're watching it. You see all these things. And then he stands up on the stage, Brian Brown, and he said, who is Darren Pickstock? We don't know him. He one of us. And then, all we hear is, bum, bum, ba-dum. They're not like us. They're not in my mind. In my mind. I wasn't there. In my mind. Bum, bum, ba-dum. Theatrics. Great. Woo! We like it. But then when you dissect this, you realize that even Brian Brown wasn't one of us. He's not a Nasuvian. And he just moved into the space Golden Isles. He didn't say Warren Miller wasn't one of us. Warren Miller wanted the nomination for as a PLP. Watch me now. Jesus God, y'all, hey. Okay. Y'all let me talk like this. As a PLP, the late, God bless his soul, Vaughn Miller wanted the nomination in Eleuthera. I think it was South and Central, Eleuthera. His heritage, where his proverbial navel string or literal navel string is buried. He wanted to go home. He couldn't get the nomination. He bust his behind trying to be able to assist the PLP to find himself in the position to be able to get that. He didn't get it. He didn't get it. Party politics don't always go the way that you want. But he was afforded an opportunity to be able to represent the constituency of Golden Isles under the Free National Movement. And so, whatever ride you got to hitch to your objective, you can hitch the ride. Even if it's in one of those shy cars that Dumb and Dumber had, even if it's a bus with goth people on it, whatever you have to do, if your objective is to reach a particular goal and find yourself in this space, you can jump on that and you can seek yourself to be able to get to that position. So he jumped on the F&M bus. First chance he get. He was sharp, First chance he gets, he say, driver, bus stop. He get off the bus. He sat at the station. He didn't make a decision. He started to walk towards his destination as an independent, knowing in his heart He couldn't wait for the PLP to recognize him. He had to bring value to him. So he started to agitate for the environment. Environmental agitation, strategic, specific, design. He did what he had to do. Then he jumped on the PLP ticket. Brian Brown never say Vaughn Miller was not one of us. He worked for him and worked damn well. Brought the opponent. Win handsomely. On a wave. Brian Brown never opened his mouth to say he's not one of us. He ain't one of us. Brian Brown ain't even letting you know that he ain't who he claimed to be as one of us. They ain't gonna come on my show. It don't matter. That's okay. I'm not mad. They ain't come on my show. They don't want to talk to me like this because I can talk like this. They won't go on people's shows and say, oh my God, how long did you want to be able to do that? Oh, you really? Well, this is a wonderful thing. Oh my God, that's what you want to go on there. I don't have time to play with that. Y'all know I don't play politics like that. I can ask you. Oh, listen. What make you feel like you could do this? You've never done this before. We never see you do nothing like this before. But today, you wake up and Jesus Christ sent you. I can ask you. I'm going to ask you. And in the midst of this segregated conversation that Brian Brown has taken and said from his political podium into the ears of his supporters, of his colleagues, and in spilling into the general public. Just like how if you ever watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like how the radioactive fluid is spilled into the sewers and all over into the water and all these things like that. Yeah, that's what's happening. With this vile language of segregation and separation, you spew that into the public. And now we're left in the position where their air is contaminated. We breathing it in. Our water is contaminated. We drinking it. Next thing you know, we having a conversation about, yeah, he ain't one of us. None of us is one of us, but all of us is one. And I'm watching this. And they, Candia, manipulate the damn words. But then, when it comes to Brian, Brian Brown makes a case. Makes what flipping case? Makes what case? What case did he make? I was always here. So what? Also, the lamp pole was there too. That ain't do nothing. The lamp pole was there for the longest time. That ain't do that one. Big tree over there. That tree got to be 150 years old. The tree just there. What it do? Outside of the natural aspects of things to be done in that space. To breathe. To inhale the carbon dioxide. And exhale the oxygen into our space. Yeah, so you operating in your space. You've existed in this particular space as a part of the community. But that doesn't make you superior and make him inferior. He has the same desire of being able to provide service. Why would we bring this into the conversation? That was in the paper. No one say nothing about that. Just the day before, condemnation, fire and brimstone down upon Darren Pickstock. The day after, well, he's making a case. And today, in the people, Guardian. Let's read. Will Golden Isle prove history making? Story by Candia Dames, executive editor. Our email, everything's there. If the Free National Movement pulls off a win in the Golden Hours by-election 2 Mondays from today, it would be historic. Garbage. Garbage. I can't even read the rest of that. Garbage. How you can start off the conversation like that? How you can start off the conversation leaning like that? How you can start off the conversation leaning like that? Historically, you've known over the past 3 elections, you could call Papa and he would tell you the PLP over the course 11 by-elections. 11. The PLP win 8. 8. How would this be historic? The only history to this thing would be the PLP, the FNM win 4, and the PLP lost another one. What's the history? What's the historic aspect of these particular things? For you to be able to show us your significant lean. I don't mean that the Prime Minister should stand up on his position and being able to speak with clarity, even though there was a significant pinch to say that he believes that certain persons would have drank the FNM's Kool-Aid. I'm not here being able to masquerade in this sort of an idea that that's okay. But I understand the justification that you cannot present a lean with the expectation that we relentlessly ingest your information that is a contaminant, that perpetuates a contaminated position from a candidate who is already segregating people. And then you want to be able to speak to us about historical, we will be historically asinine. And to see, I don't even live in Golden Isles. I don't have no horse or donkey in this race. None. Go look at my newspaper. These people wouldn't even spend money with me. Hello? I asked Darren, I asked Brian, and I asked COI. Not a damn one. Say, yeah, man. Say, yeah. No. I have nothing to gain from any of this. Nothing. I have nothing to gain from any of this. I'm not here seeking to denigrate, dismantle the character and the potential that exists in Brian Brown. I think this should be fair. But Brian Brown, as a general, could say whatever he wants on the people's couch at their porch and yell it in their door as it crack from the gate. As a general, he could say whatever he wants. But sir, you're not in the capacity of a general today. You're a candidate. And somebody got to tell him that. Somebody got to tell him, do you know that you shouldn't be saying this stupidity, sir? Somebody got to tell him that. Sir, hello? Do you know that we could see you? Do you know that you're not in a bar room? Do you know that this isn't over drinks at your grill and chill? This is public information. Do you know that you're the candidate? Do you know that? This is what the FNM has put forward. Superb, super at his job. Super at his job. As a general. Super at his job. As a candidate, questionable, peculiar. I just want to be decent with you. I'm not here saying to you not to vote for Brian Brown. I'm not here saying to you not to vote for or to vote for Darren Pickstock. I'm not saying any of these things to anyone. I'm talking about stories that lean. I'm talking about being able to identify and to show us that there is a clear and defined bias that exists in these particular space. And I don't want that. I just want news. I just want to be able to make up my own mind for these particular things. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want the subtle innuendos. I don't want it. I don't want the lean. I don't want to be able to read it with the perception, the idea that I think that this is by design. I don't want to do that, man. I don't want to do that. I think that this is in support of this thing. They keep on saying the exact same thing. The allegations that's being levied against you about your affiliation, about your position. And I'm not just talking about leadership. I'm talking about the body. They keep telling me about your organization's commitment and this a fixed position that you have with a political organization. I never wanted to believe it. I never wanted to believe it. I thought that this is where integrity came to stretch, to live, to thrive, to survive within the confines of our society. And you've shown me that this is designed. And I'm such an idiot. I'm so silly. 188 years old. This would have been under the UBP. This would have been established under a specific entity. I didn't know that there was a lean in a particular direction over those years. We only read your paper. But with maturity, with clarity, with this sort of epiphany and this awakening that's happening, you recognize that there is a level of allegiance here. And the allegiance seems to be leaning to one political organization as opposed to another. Stop it. Quick break, guys. Going to be right back after this.
I would die for love, but I will never kill for hate. Ain't no use, there ain't no use. No, ain't no use. No. I would climb up the highest mountain, swim to the blue sea, if it's for love. Oh, if it's for love. Love rescue me. Love is the key to it all. Oh, love is the key to it all. So don't you listen to the evil call. Listen to the call. Love is the way it should be. Love is the way it should come be. With me. And you see, I would die for love, but I will never kill for hate. Ain't no use, ain't no use, ain't no use. Killing ain't no use.
You're the universe. And I'm on the way. Rocket Bob. It doesn't go to deal in the scope. Break and scrape. Break and scrape. That's mama's remedy for all the body ache. She just can't sit around, get stiff and out of shape. It's like a burst of energy that break and scrape. In the morning and noon, in the evening too. Break and scrape. Late at night just before the news. Break and scrape. Boy, this time we can't refuse. You'll get your bottom bruised. Say, lick it, boy, till you snooze your lose. Break and scrape. I wish my daddy was here to see. This raking and scraping she putting on we. We rake and scrape in secrecy till our secret was revealed. She says that bring back memory. Can I lick that rhythm, please? All this up she is rake and scrape. Rake and scrape, yeah. Rake and scrape. That's mama's remedy for all the body ache. She just can't sit around and get stiff and out of shape. It's like a burst of energy that break and scrape. Break and scrape, yeah. Break and scrape. That's mama's remedy for all the body ache. She just can't sit around and get stiff and out of shape. It's like a burst of energy that break and scrape. And get energy from. She got break and scrape in a bone. She said that break and scrape scrape, make this house a home. Way down in the soul. We wake and scraping for the young and the old. That's the young people now, that's the young and old. That's my rhythm. Saturday evening when the sun goes down, when family and friends they all come around. But before they reach it and write a speech, it and write the list of songs. Get them dancing shoes, boy. Come on, gonna hide my corn. The party is on, everybody in swing. Mama on the floor killing Russian ting. Boy, someone step on, she gone, she start to jump and run. And the two she start to do it too, she must be thinking it's a brand new dance. Boy, this break is great, so serious. You better take this serious, yeah. Yeah, break and scrape. That's mama's remedy for all the body ache. Woo! She just can't sit around, get stiff and out of shape. It's like a waste of energy. That break and scrape. Break and scrape, yeah, break and scrape. Woo! That's mama's remedy for all the body ache. She just can't sit around, get stiff and out of shape. It's like a waste of energy. That break and scrape. Master Rock, brother. This music got me going crazy. Dance the quadrille. She got break and scrape in a bone. She said that break and scrape make this house a home. Way down in the soul. We wake and scraping for the young and the old. Break and scrape in a bone. She said that break and scrape make this house a home. Way down in the soul. We wake and scraping for the young and the old.
I was standing on the corner when I heard my bulldog bark. He was barking at the two men who were gambling in the dark. It was Stagger Lee and Billy, two men who gambled lit. Stagger Lee threw a 7, Billy swore that he threw 8. Stagger Lee told Billy, I can't let you go with that. See, you done won all my money and
I don't know. That's just when you're in the middle of something, you know. The foundation with Howard Grant, just being able to jam with you, always jamming and having a very good time. I was just distracted, sending a text and whatnot. In the midst of my rage, I sent the paper flying over there and had to go and collect it. Yeah, this is my dollar. I paid for this. We're here just being able to look at some stuff and being able to have a very clear conversation. And if you are just tuning in with me, all we're just talking about is balance, man. I'm not talking about, this is not condemnation. I don't see Candia as a bad person. I don't see The Guardian as a horrible newspaper. I don't see Brian Brown as a segregatist or wishing to be a colonialist or whatnot. I just have to have a clear conversation with you that if the paper is being able to identify and contort words, give us the contortion and be able to project a particular idea in our minds, that all these things are up for interpretation now. And if it's up for interpretation, this is my interpretation of the matter. This is my position on the situation. You could fight me. You could cuss me. You're all allowed to do that. You could rip me to shreds and talk about me and whatever the case may be. This is not what it is. This is not what my desires are. This is not what it is. Right? I don't want to make an enemy out of who I consider a friend. But as I ingest this information, especially now what I know and the position that I am and some of the things that I'm working on, I really need to be balanced in my approach of being able to do these things. I need to be balanced in my approach of being able to do these things. And I'm just looking for balance. We did an article with the Prime Minister. The article is, I cringe a little bit when I say, ooh. I read the article. I read all the articles in the paper. I cringe a bit. I had to. When they started to talk about Von Miller's legacy. Right? I said, ugh. And then I think, should we put this in? Should we don't put this in? And who would I be other than a hypocrite if we didn't incorporate this information? Who would I be outside of a hypocrite if I didn't incorporate this information? And so we put it in. We talked about his legacy. We talked about what exists on the ground. We talked about this kind of a heightened, and I spoke with the reporter, the journalist that was responsible for being able to do it. And the first edition that was placed out there didn't include some information. And the story, as I read it, made me feel like I was leaning. Now, y'all don't know who the journalist is, but I spoke with him. And I said, hey, I didn't tell him that I was leaning, that the story is leaning. I didn't say that. If they're watching, they know now. But throughout the course of the conversation that we had, they knew what I was saying. Hey, did you take this into consideration? Historically, this has been the position. Historically, the Free National Movement, the PLP has always been doing well as it relates to low voter turnout. Hey, historically, this has been this particular position. Do we feel like there's something different? Is there may be voter apathy, but that voter apathy now is battling with instant gratification. Come on now. The voter apathy and the indifference of being able to participate in it, the electoral period, and feeling, man, all these fellas is jokers, man. Half of them do this, PLP do that. All these fellas is jokers. I won't vote for none of these fellas, man. Voter apathy. They don't. I ain't into that. I ain't into voting. I ain't want none of that. That is now confronted with, but I'm hungry. I need to pay a bill. I need to do this. I need to do that. And so you're stuck between a rock and a hard place at the crossroads of conviction and necessity. And you have to make a decision. And so we're watching this election to identify whether or not that decision would be to go with what you believe is right for the future, or to go with the right now, which is instant gratification and being able to provide you these particular instances. In the same paper that I talked to you about, when Brian Brown stood up on the podium, he indicated if the PLP leaves the constituency, they're not going to finish anything. If the PLP loses, the election, they're not going to finish any of the works of the projects that they got going on in the constituency. Why would you say that, sir? This is what you say when you go to people's door. Well, you know the PLP ain't finish nothing. When they finish, you might as well vote for Fawn Mello. PLP ain't gonna do nothing around here. They ain't gonna do nothing around here. You know them. You know them. We know them. You could say these things as a general. Nobody will ever see your face as a general, except those constituents. No one will ever see your face as a general. You could show up and say, here, put this in your pocket. As a general, you could show up and say, what you need, I can get that taken care of for you. As a general, you could show up in the constituency and work on behalf, as a liaison in the constituency on behalf of the representative, because the representative should not be seen to do these things. That's just the culture of politics that we live in the country. As a general, you could say what needs to be said to get those votes. You have an objective. As a representative, you have to be measured, calculated, strategic, good posture, good vision, articulate, and ready. As a representative, these people, children, now looking at you in leadership capacity. That's what this is about. Whether you like to believe it or not, these children look up to you. I look up to Shivago Lang, and I look up to Michael Pintard. All my youth. Shoots. As I get older, and Michael Alkides was given an opportunity. I look up to Michael Alkides. I look up to these guys, man. When you were given an opportunity, listen to me, out of all 400,000 of us, foreigners included, the Prime Minister chose you. Something got to be going on here. Something, you got to have something. Prime Minister know a bunch of Joneses. He ain't choose none of them. He chose you. Something got to be going on here. Something. And not just that maybe your constituency chose you to serve in the constituency. But the Prime Minister saw value in you and brought you into the cabinet. You serve at the pleasure of the Prime Minister. He chose you. There's got to be something to that. There's got to be something to that. And so when I look at these things and we make this kind of a determination, when we look at this, listen, there's more to this than just this superficial stuff, man. As a general, you have to know that. As a general, it's almost, no holds bar for you. Because no one can hold you to account. Ain't nobody coming in and recording you. You ain't captured on the paper. You ain't in the newspaper speaking on behalf of your candidate. You ain't on the talk shows. You ain't here. You ain't there. You in the community. You in your short pants and your shoes and your shirt with your notepad on. You're taking information. You're taking numbers and you're sending things back to them. You taking care of business in the community. You is a general, baby. You's a general. As a candidate, you need a little bit more meat than that, sir. We've been eating bone marrow from you for a long time, soaking that bone, cutting off the two edges and letting the marrow sit down in the soup to eat that to find strength. We accept that. You as a general. We only can take what you need as a general. As a candidate, you're going to need a whole hog, sir. The whole hog. We want all the huff and the tusk and the foot. We can eat that too. Use a candidate. Me? I'd never let y'all people know I ain't no millionaire. Millionaire? I can't remember how much Brent Simonet declared, but we laughed. We laughed. I said, that under his mattress. I laugh. I said, that money under his mattress right now. Getting it deep down, and you have to know how to navigate these particular things. But maybe you want people to know some stuff. No. Because people don't know that you're dealing with another 7,319 people who are registered in that constituency. People don't know that. When you're dealing with them, you're only dealing with them. Nobody else in this life exists. Come on, let me show you something, man. You see this right here? Yeah, man, my wife said she wanted me to paint that, man. I tried to get the damn paint, man. You wouldn't believe $300 for the paint. $300 for the paint. You think they right for that? I was going to buy some paint them from Leslie Miller then, but you know there's PLP, so I said, Jesus Christ, I got to hold on. But you could take care of me, man. You don't think you could take care of me, man? Listen, man, $300 and I got to get the fella to paint that. Give me $500, you can knock it out. Times 7,000 people. They don't know that. They only care about their $500. And as soon as you tell the people, well, I don't. But you just say you got $2.3 million. You put yourself in some peculiar situation. I'm not saying to you that you should have been dishonest. That's not what I'm saying to you. I'm saying to you that you should have been a bit more strategic in your approach. And being able to identify the capacity that you sit in. Praise God. I just want to be able to say that. As I look at these things, and I look at all these things, fellas say bushcrack, man, gone. The PLP is not going to continue the works in the constituency if they don't win. And I couldn't understand, not one soul. I see CA, I pop open my phone, and I see CA allude to it on his Facebook page this morning by saying, if that's the case, and then you put an ellipsis, ... If that's the case, but I said to you from Friday, how the man could stand up here and tell you nothing can get done in this constituency if I win? That's what he say. And that's what he say. That's what he say. That's what he say. That's what he say. He's saying to you, the PLP, the projects that you want a long time. The projects that you wanted, you needed the road paved, you needed the potholes done, you needed the sidewalks done, you needed all them shanty-looking towns with all the pallets around them to be moved, you needed all of the things to be gone in this area, you need all these things to be done in the back here, you need light on the back by Cowpen Road, this is what you need. You need all these things. But if the PLP lose, you ain't gonna get it. If the PLP lose, you ain't gonna get it. Vote PLP. Is that what you're saying, sir? Is that what you're saying to the people? You might as well come with your yellow shirt. Unless your yellow shirt underneath. You are the candidate. You are the candidate. Your language has been calibrated to speak in the capacity of a manager or a general for far too long. You are no longer in this particular capacity. You have elevated from that standpoint, and now you must use the language of a visionary. You must use the language that speaks to capability, that passion and insight, that speaks to access and relationship. I can do it. And if you can't do it, you lie like Obama and say, yes, we can. Jesus Christ. We can do it together, Golden Isles. Golden Isles, we can do it together. The PLP will not give us nothing. We will not be able to get beyond those gates. But oh God, if we petition outside here. Oh God, if we write another letter. We know that the proper authority will get it. You're wasting damn Mordecai. You're wasting Mordecai. You got to slip this one to this one. You got to do all these things like that. And then you got to convince your man, because Mordecai was in a general capacity. You got to convince your man, who's supposed to be moving in the leadership capacity, who's Esther, that you was born for such a time as this. You got to know your role. And when the story is being told about you, that story, Mordecai is essential to that story, just as bad and it's just as important as Esther is important to that story. Mordecai was just as important, or maybe even more. Maybe even more. He was just as important to the victory of Von Miller. He's no longer with us. He can't tell you. Maybe he wouldn't tell you because you all oppose each other politically. But oh God, he give God praise for you. He would have never, ever, ever been able to see that. He may not have ever win South of Luther. Hello. If he'd have gone down there, he still might have get his behind cut. Hello. Why? Because you don't know the caliber of generals. I'm sure that they're good, whoever they are. But you don't know the caliber of generals, and you don't know the enthusiasm of them. But you know what you could do, and you know what you have done. You've been tried, tested, and you delivered. You delivered. You delivered. And that delivery yielded another birth. Yeah, man. That's what has happened, you know. No matter the difficulty a woman have with not being able to conceive at the forefront, watch me. No matter the difficulty a woman have with her inability to conceive, no matter the difficulty a woman have, even if she would have gone through a couple miscarriages, when she's able to conceive and bring that baby forth, and she knows she could do it, her confidence builds. Her spirit realigns. And she says, you could do it again. Boom. Her husband whisper in her ears, buying a line. She wake up, morning sickness. She pregnant. Last night, quick so. Take you 6 years. If it took you 6 years before, you could be doing in 6 minutes. Why? Because everything has aligned for you. You're confident that if you did this before, you can do it again. Von Miller has retrieved his confidence from you in your managerial general capacity. Who is your Mordecai, sir? You? You can't carry yourself to certain places, sir. You can't. You can't carry. Even if you were to find victory, you've already said to us, you don't have access to productivity. You've already said that to us. Even if you cannot find victory, you've already said to us that you don't have access to productivity. Yeah, so you could find yourself in the hallway of Parliament jumping up and down, but when it comes to being able to talk to Clay or to talk to this or talk to that, let's see, they ain't gonna deny you, you know. They ain't gonna deny you. No one will deny you. You're a constituent. You're a member of Parliament and a representative in the country of the Bahamas. No one will deny you. But oh my God, they will delay your guts out. They will drag, oh Jesus, they will delay your guts out. Never deny, you know. Or they will delay. Listen to me. Obi Wills can promise me something. He never denied me. He delayed and delayed and delayed. And then he was laid to rest. I still didn't get the thing. I wonder if I could go ask Chester for that. Now, Howard, I don't have nothing to do with that. That's between you and Obi. Go and ask him. But Obi's gone, exactly. It's done. It's done. Let it go. They will delay your guts out. He knows this. Because he knows how this game is played. It's unfortunate. But 'tis what it is in that particular light and capacity. Guys, Foxhead was vandalized and robbed again. You'll leave Dr. Nicholas Fox alone. I like him. I like him. I do. He has tenacity. He has poise. He has determination. He's not afraid to be who he is. I like him. I like him. Now, I don't know if that is going to be enough. I like him. He has vision in terms of being able to create opportunities, to be able to keep those persons active within this particular space. And you know who knows that? Fred Mitchell. Fred Mitchell knows that. He may deny it. You know, he may look you in the face and, you know, you say we got to keep working. But Dr. Fox presents a caliber of candidate and representation, potentially, that a great deal of people would not have represented or not have presented against Fred Mitchell. This is going to be interesting to watch. Interesting to watch. Well, it may be too early to call it, but I think that Fred, once he gets on the ground, because I'm seeing him on the ground, Fred Mitchell may still be able to pull this out. But he said that this campaign is his last campaign. That he won't be running again after this. This is his last campaign. So he's going to be running. And we're going to be watching. But you know, I got to be able to say, win, lose, or draw, the organizations don't make much room for people after. I've done away with the thought and the idea for some time now, maybe about 7-8 years. I've done away with the thought, the idea of the fact that as much as people could be able to see me and speak of me and say, boy, Howard, you're good, you got something to offer, you know, don't give up. The Free National Movement has never done that. And I only can tell you my experience. They have never done that for me. There's a great deal of talent that exists out there, raw, untapped, but they exist, right? They just need fine tuning. They just need to be pulled in. But organizations don't take the time that after a defeat, after there's sort of an idea that you weren't successful in one space or another, they never make room for you. They never make room for you. I don't know if they do that within the confines of the PLP, but they never make room for you. You got to start making room for the next generation. You got to start making room for vision. You got to start making room for hope, for tenacity, for vibrance, for conviction, for this sort of an idea of vision for growth. You got to start making room for that, man. You putting yourself in this position, you have not made room for it. You have to make room for that. Everybody in these organizations, you ever see these line, like, stuck, tied up on each other, almost like you about to do like the Congo line. You dead tight. You dum 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 dum. Hey, you dead tight. Sandwiching, squeezing people on this line. And in the midst of that, you don't know what's coming up in front of you. That's the Free National Movement. That's organizations. That's the PLP and the Free National Movement. People are so tight on each other that I'm next in line. I should be here. I should be there. I want this. And that has placed them in this kind of a position where, you know, they don't even give room for youth to be able to get involved. They don't give room. They don't. The hell this dude come from around here? You see me tied up on this line, but I ain't supposed to move. Never move. You know how long I was on this line, sir. The line must break 6 people ahead of you. You're not going to be moving at all. You don't know that because you're so tied up on this line. You can't see nobody. That's political organizations in this country. When I see people like Dr. Fox, when I see people who are out here, when I see people that you allow to throw away, like Gregory Moss, when I see Kendall, I forget Kendall's last name. When I see my mother, Verne Grant, when I see Branville McCartney, when I see Desmond Bannister, when I see, who else from the PLP? I don't know how much people the PLP is throw away, right? But when I see people out here being able to drift who are part of an organization, when I see people like Richard Johnson, and you all let him go, when I see Frederick McAlpine, you just don't know. You all don't understand Bahamian politics no more. You don't understand Bahamian politics no more. You can't. To do that, you're doing garbage. You can't. The FNM has allowed some great people, I'm telling you, great people to leave the organization. And when I say allowed, that you didn't intervene. You've allowed your political organizational pride to put a milky haze over your eyes, the scales over your eyes. You've allowed that to happen. How you didn't intervene with Loretta? How you could let Loretta go because of political pride? And the same people who tried to oppose her get rejected themselves. Peter Turnquest. You might still be affiliated with a party, hoping to God that they give you something, throw you a bone and stay close to the leadership and whatnot to see if they can be able to do something. But you have been rejected by the body thereof. You've been rejected. My mother, she has been rejected in the organization. Not because of anything that she's done. It's just that the organization has taken on their particular position. She still has show up. But not me. If anybody want me around, I think I like man. I get around here. Hey, how you doing? Oh, Jesus Christ. Hey, Howard, what's up? You think I could... Hey guys, what's up? Y'all all right? Oh God, this guy again. You know, black people with our mouth, we should be putting. Look over there. Look over there. Look over there. Hey, Howard. Jesus, what are you doing here? Who invited him? You invited him. You think I can go around people who ain't want nothing to do with me? I ain't got no time for that. I ain't got time for that. I ain't that desperate to be in your company. So I want to say to the organizations, win, lose, or draw, you have to know the talent that exists in your organization. For the Free National Movement, you have been focused for far too long on the idea of preservation of a name. And if that's really the case, why you let Loretta go? and hold on to her deputy. Let's be decent, guys. I want to thank you so much for being able to tune in with us today. I want to see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow. I love you. Tomorrow is only a day away. You know that song? Guys, going to see you tomorrow, God's Pure Life, right here on Boom, the Foundation.